Welcome, frenzied57 here. Once again, I'm on the Xbox Series X. We're playing some Call of Duty Black Ops 6, and today I'm going to show you how to do a pretty neat solo God mode glitch that some have said is going to be the best XP farm. I don't quite agree it's the best, but it's definitely something that's interesting. So you're going to need a couple of augments for this. First of all, this is going to be completely solo. You do not need Frenzied Guard. You're going to be using Ether Shroud, and the main thing is you need the Burst Dash Major Augment, and you need the extra charge increase max charges. I mean, it's not 100% needed, but it definitely is nice to have. As far as the other augments, they're all entirely personal preference. If you really wanted to, you could do Turtle Shell on your Juggernog, but it's not really necessary. But to make it more of a God mode, you would want Elemental Pop with Imperial Peach and Vulnerable. That's just for later rounds, though. The biggest difference is going to be where we'll be using the Melee Macchiato perk, or the new one that they added to the game, basically. And we're going to use this for our ammo, so we'll be using Triple Shot and Hidden Impact as far as augments go. Other than that, it's entirely personal preference. You can do this with almost any weapon, any loadout at any level. I highly recommend, though, a frag grenade. Obviously, the field upgrade Ether Shroud, and your tactical is personal preference at the end of the day. So, go ahead and get started. This is going to be solo on the map Liberty Falls. So since we're going to be going in really quick, you're going to make sure that you want to turn on the Rampage Inducer right there in the right of the area where you spawn. And I'm just going to try to make this as efficient as possible. Come over there, melee the vending machine. Sometimes it gives you something good, sometimes it doesn't. Go ahead and trigger that door, check the car, check the truck to see if you get any extra zombies. This way we get our extra points. Obviously, melee kills and critical kills will give you the most points, but you can really get any type of kill, it doesn't matter. If you are super good and you're using a weapon with an optic, you can kind of almost hit the double points that is located underneath the water tower. But it's extremely difficult to do, and obviously if you're not using a weapon with a good scope, it can be a bit of a problem. Now, it is worth noting that this vending machine you can smack every single round, but what you get out of that vending machine is just random. Sometimes it's something good, like some points or salvage, possibly a score streak, even if you're really lucky, something like a ray gun, but we don't get those very often. So what we're going to do is start to make our way over to the right here. I'm not worried too much about the vending machine. I'll leave that up to personal preference. Every new area that you unlock, you want to check the damaged vehicles and the corners of the map to see if you have any lurking zombies. Usually there's at least one zombie in each area that you can kill the first couple of waves that you are in that area after you unlock it. Otherwise, they just slowly lose their health and bleed out. Make your way over here. If you have a double points, great. If you don't have a double points, that's fine too. You can go ahead and shoot up just above that window air conditioner and get a bonus points for free. I should mention, if you're not comfortable playing with Rampage Inducer on, then that is perfectly fine. You don't have to do it. It's just easier if you do. We'll go ahead and take advantage of the free 100 points loose change from the vending machine there for Speed Cola. And really at this point, all we need to do is open one more door, and that's basically about it. So if you have a double points in your game, you're going to be able to do this faster than me. but you don't really necessarily need to have a double point. So we have pretty much enough points here. I do have an insta-kill active. We're going to buy this door, and we are going to buy the melee macchiato perk first. Again, you can collect the loose change if you want. This is just to get in place quickly. We don't actually need to do it in this order. And of course you can buy ammo and whatnot, but as long as you have one charge at the very least on your field upgrade, you are good to go. So make your way behind the groundskeeper's house to where this tool shed is.
Watched when I'm working.
Alright, so there we go. We just popped right through this door here with our Ether Shroud ability, and I did have to make 2 attempts at this. This does not work every single time, but all you have to do is, like you seen me there, get right next to this left-hand side of the door. They are kind of, I believe, trying to patch this, or they may have adjusted it. Because you used to be able to just walk up to the door anywhere in the door, activate your Ether Shroud, and pop through the door. But for some reason on the Xbox, I have only had luck doing it when I am up against this crack in the door, the very, very leftmost side of the door. And that is the only time that I have been able to do it. But if you're able to do it, it takes a little bit of practice, but you'll end up in this tool shed. And the zombies will just stack up right in front of the door, allowing you to shoot them through the door. In order to eliminate our need to keep getting out for getting more ammo, that's why we purchased the melee macchiato perk. And that allows us to go ahead here and just keep firing our gun for the majority of the time till we get really low on ammo. And then use our melee attack to kill a couple of zombies, and we'll get a portion of our weapon's magazine of ammo back. It's not the most perfect thing, but it is a way to just kind of stay in here longer, especially when you have an insta-kill active. As you can see, I kill a zombie and I get a decent chunk of points back. Now the neat thing about this is because the zombies are all stacked up right in front of you, you can pretty much shoot at head level and almost be guaranteed to get a free critical hit. So it's very good for getting your weapon camos done, especially on those pesky weapons that just really aren't that much fun to play with. I'm not going to say the bad weapons because, well, really there's a bunch of weapons that are personal preference. So again, all you're doing is shooting the zombies. If you have an explosive weapon, you can shoot up here. Obviously, you'll damage yourself, but if you have PhD flopper, that's not a problem. Or you can kind of jump shot these zombies, you know, jump up a little bit and then hit them. Personal preference, but you get about 14 rounds of ammo roughly every time you punch and kill a zombie. If your weapon runs completely dry, it will force you into the reload animation, but other than that, you can still pick up your power-ups that drop right here at the door. So it's pretty easy. Now, just to clarify before those folks in the comment section get started, while you can do this, and it is technically a God mode in the beginning, it is not full God mode. This is not walking God mode like with Frenzied Guard, because it is possible for you to take damage. It is also possible for the manglers to force and phase through if enough of them stack up after about round 21. However, most folks that are using this are probably going to be using it for weapons and/or XP, so more than likely they're going to be leaving relatively early, and you can do that either by successfully exfilling or just by quitting your game. I am in a solo match right now. As you can see, I can pause the game. However, you can also do this in a online match with multiple players. Multiple players can fit in this shack. However, only, I believe, 3 can fit in here. And even at that point, it is an extremely tight fit to have 3 players. So I'm just going to show you, we got our first mangler here. Just show you that this does work, even with the manglers. At least until they stack up to an extreme amount. But the good news is we can actually get out of here. So if you get rid of most of the zombies, make sure that you have at least 1 charge on your ether shroud. And as long as you have at least 1 charge on your ether shroud, then you are good to go. So in order to get out of here though, what you're going to want to do, normally you would have to save and quit the game. But for the moment, we do have an extra option. And that's going to be to go ahead and go prone and be as close to this door as possible. And you'll notice that while prone, you can't go past this left-hand side. Like, no matter how much you hold left, despite the fact that if I'm not prone, I can go farther to the left. But if I am prone, I can't go any farther to the left. This is the sweet spot. So you want to be in this spot and then simply just activate your ether shroud. And what it's going to do is it's going to just poof you out on the other side of the door. So at this point, you can go and do whatever you want. You can pack a punch your weapon. I would highly recommend buying Jug and possibly a 2-plate vest. I told you to bring in a frag grenade because if you throw your frag grenade at the top of the church, kind of give it a little bit of a cook there so that it does explode. And then if you want, you can come in here, maybe destroy some of those little purple crystals for extra salvage or other items that could be useful for you. You'll notice that there's zombies that are falling off of the roof, and they're going to give you salvage, armor plates, all sorts of stuff. But the most important thing is they will give you a ether tool, and the ether tool, if you do this before wave 10, is going to be green. If you do it at wave 10, the ether tool will be blue. So there you go. There is a free blue ether tool since we did this after wave 10. You know, we can come out here, spend our salvage to upgrade rarity or add ammo mods, do whatever it is that we want to do here. Whether it be, you know, picking up a kill streak or anything of that nature. You can go and pack a punch. I highly recommend grabbing the Juggernog perk and Speed Cola just to make things easier. Juggernog will be there for your survivability. Speed Cola will help out with your reload. And obviously the increased magazine capacity when you have the pack-a-punch makes it a lot easier. But personal preference at the end of the day, then you're going to kill zombies till you get enough points that you have your ability charged. Or not points, but progress to your Ether Shroud ability. Unless you had 2 charges, which if you had 2 charges, then you're fine. Come back to this door. Make sure you're on the left-hand side. You can kind of look at your feet to make sure that you're sort of kind of moving. And poof your way back in. Obviously, it's not an exact science because, as you've seen just there, I used my ability and I didn't manage to get into the shed. It is kind of a little bit of, I would say I get it about 80% of the time. So there is a chance that you will have to play out more of the game outside of the shed. But this is something that you can use at least until they patch it, which, considering how difficult it's becoming to actually get into that shed, personally I believe they're going to patch it very soon. Now, do me a huge favor, let me know in the comments section what you think of this, if you're going to use it, if you're not going to use it. It's entirely personal preference. Maybe you'll use it for that one really pain-in-the-ass weapon, or if you have any questions or anything, by all means ask, and I'll do my best to help you out. If for some reason you fail to get into the shed, you can of course just play out a couple of rounds. Ether Shroud charges up really quickly, and then you can try again to get back into the shed. So, hopefully the video was helpful to you. If it was, do me a huge favor, smash that like button, subscribe if you haven't done so already, this way you never miss out on another video. Till then, my brothers and sisters thy legion, stay frosty. just to show, again, you can entirely get back into this room. It's just a little bit difficult to get the positioning perfectly right on it.